Well, for more, I'm joined by Jeremy Mitchell. He's the Director of Corporate Affairs for Huawei. Jeremy Mitchell, welcome. A busy day for you. Were you surprised at this government decision to ban your company from tendering for the NBN contracts?
Look, we were a bit surprised, but these things happen. It's a new era for many people, seeing a privately owned company out of China, a global company and a global leader in the technology that we do. So we are building 8 of the 9 NBNs in the world, including the United Kingdom, where we've been delivering the exact same technology that we want to provide here in Australia for the last 6 years. We've had no problems there. So we think we can hopefully overcome this. We hope this is more of a process rather than a moment.
So how long have you been involved with the company?
I've been in the company now for 3 years.
And have you spent much time in China itself?
We go to China quite regularly. That's obviously we're headquartered. I've been to Singapore, I've been to London to have a look at. We're a global company. I mean, we're operating in 140 countries around the world.
So as we heard from John Lee just then, and the major concern seems to be that the Chinese government has declared this a strategic area and is exerting significant control over companies in the technology area.
That is absolutely false.
Well, in your time in China, have you been told to do anything by Chinese officials or heard any suggestions from other people in the company that the government is actually running the operation?
Absolutely not. We are privately owned. We run the company ourselves. There is no evidence at all, and we have never been told by the Chinese government to do a certain thing. If we would, that would be to our detriment, and we would lose the market share that we have. And can I say that it's easy to say those sort of things, but let's have a look at the facts. We are the number 2 vendor in the world. We're about to become the number 1 telecom infrastructure provider in the world. We partner with 45 of the top 50 telcos, Telefonica, BT, Vodafone Global. You don't get to that size, you don't do $40 billion worth of contracts if people don't trust you, your equipment or your company. And I think the true test for us is the UK. I mean, we've been delivering the NBN and the sole supplier of that technology in the UK for the last 6 years.
One other fact that critics are raising in relation to this is that the chair of Huawei is a former People's Liberation Army engineer. Is that a fact?
Yeah, we put that in his bio on the front page of his on our annual report. And can I say, Ren Zhengfei, who's the founder and CEO, was dismissed from the PLA in the early 80s. He was in the PLA like many men of his generation. Now, if that's the link between Huawei and the PLA and the Chinese government, it's a very tenuous link. And I think if we're going to judge our company at that level, we should judge others as well.
Considering the fact there's been the United States Office of National Counterintelligence executive accused China of cyber espionage to steal US trade and technology secrets, wouldn't it be fair enough for people to assume that the Chinese government was doing everything possible to do that and would use companies within China to help them achieve that?
Well, first of all, I mean, we're operating in 140 countries around the world. There's only one country that we continually have security questions raised, and that's the US. And I think most analysts would agree that that's more about China trade and US trade, and we seem to fall into the middle there. So I think the true test really is our capabilities in the UK, our capabilities in New Zealand, Singapore, where we're building these things. I mean, 50% of Australians today are already using a Huawei technology for part of their telecommunication needs. So we're very much here in the market.
But this is a completely different story, isn't it, in terms of providing infrastructure for the NBN?
Yeah, but we are the world leader in it. I think we have a lot to offer. And look, we understand that for this area for governments, it's very important. It is something that I don't think governments have the sole answers to. Industry doesn't have the sole answers to. We need to work together on this. It is a very important issue. We're willing to do that. We're willing to put things in place, have our own technicians which are Australian citizens, security cleared. We're happy to be fully audited. We're allowed to give source code over to governments. I mean, we will go out of our way to prove our bona fides, but I think at the end of the day, our calling card is of the 9 NBNs being built in the world, we're doing 8 of them.
We just heard from Julia Gillard she's in Seoul in South Korea at the moment. She answered a question on this saying insisting this decision was prudent. Do you hold out any hope that you can get the government to turn around on this, or perhaps is there a court challenge in the offing?
Look, I think the best way to do this is to work together. I mean, as I said, this is a challenge that's not going to go away, cybersecurity, and I think by saying that Huawei can't participate is not going to make the network of Australia any safer. I think using our experience, our global experience, especially with the United Kingdom, we can actually help. So I think this hopefully is a temporary measure. I think we can work through it and get over this hurdle.
Okay, Jeremy Mitchell, thanks very much for coming in and chatting to us.